Hello guys and welcome back on DevOps with Yannick. Jenkins is one of the more useful components of a CI/CD pipeline when we are working as a DevOps engineer. That's why I'm going to learn you in this video how to setting up a Jenkins page using a Docker container, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. So make sure to watch until the end, since I've kept another surprise for you. So please watch until the end, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna love what I kept for you. So let's go. Let's install Docker first, and for that we're gonna access this link of Docker Docker documentation. So I'm gonna provide this link in the description of this video. Okay, so once you're going to be on this thing, just check the different steps and start using the RPM repository. So we're going to run the first step on the installation of Docker on our Linux server. We have a Alma Linux server here, so we are proceeding the installation using RPM. So you set up the repository. After that, you're going to install the Docker engine using this command line. So I'm going to paste this and validate my comment. Yes. Okay. So that's a little bit it about this step. We're just going to wait a couple seconds, the time for the variables close the process. Awesome. So right now, we're going to start the Docker engine using the systemctl command, since I have an Alma Linux server right there. So I'm just going to paste the command that the Docker documentation has provided, and after that everything should be good. Okay, if you don't want to start automatically, use sudo systemctl star Docker. Yeah, but it's fine because I'm going to use it directly right now. Okay, so I'm going to make docker dash version, and you can see the version of Docker that I've installed. Awesome. So I'm just going to run sudo docker run hello world as they have asked us to do by the end of the installation, and see if everything's working fine. So as you can see, you can drop a pause and read. When you run this command, you're going to have Docker move on Docker up, and you upload that image and proceed with everything. So let's install Docker Compose right now. For that, I'm going to check the images that I have. I already have the Hello World image, the one that you have installed a couple seconds ago. If you have questions, let me know. So we're going to move on this documentation page where I have the process to install Docker Compose. So for RPM base, it's the case with Alma Linux. We're going to copy this and paste and just execute it quickly. So if I'm going too fast, let me know in comment. I'm going to provide this second link for Docker Compose in comment as well. But you can access all of them on Docker documentation just by typing exactly what you want. Okay, so now we should be good. We're just going to type the Docker Compose version now in order to see what is the version of the Docker Compose that you have installed. Okay, so let's wait a couple seconds. So we find now. Let's type this command quickly. Docker Compose version. You see, Docker Compose version v2 36.2. Awesome. Installation completed. So we can move on the next step right now. Let's install Jenkins Docker container right now quickly. So for that, we're going to jump on our on our browser and just type Jenkins Docker image, and you're going to be able to see the one that going to provide the official image right there. Just click on this one. Once you click, you're going to come on the Docker hub page. And once you're going to be on this Docker hub page, it's pretty easy. This official Jenkins image is obsolete right now. So you can see the deprecation notice right there, saying that you have to use the Jenkins latest image option. So we're going to click on that one, okay, because this link is not usable. If you use the copy option here, it's not going to work, okay. So that's a little bit it. You always have to double check everything before to use an image. Make sure that everything is working. If you have a notice, make sure to read, okay. This is a best practice in the computer science world, IT world, and so on. So I'm just going to click on Jenkins latest right now and click on copy for Docker pull command on the right. I'm going to click on copy and come back on my Visual Studio Code and just paste that command in order to download my Jenkins official Docker image. So you're going to take a couple seconds and we should be good. Awesome. So right now, if I list my images, you're going to see that I have that Jenkins image, and it's the latest version since I didn't specify something about it, okay. So right there, I'm going to run the Docker images command, so you can see that I have a new image after hello world image, Jenkins. So this is our Jenkins Docker container official image, okay, and the size is 471 megabit. So it's something really heavy, okay, because it's just a powerful application that we're going to use on our CI/CD pipeline. So I'm going to run the make command in order to create my Jenkins directory and move inside that directory and create the Jenkins data directory, where I'm going to have my YAML file for my Docker Compose program, and also my volume for my container, okay. So let's create our YAML container, our YAML file that we're going to use with Docker Compose right now. So we're going to use the vim command. Vim is a editor for Linux system. I already make a long video on Vim on the previous series on bash scripting. Let's watch this series if you want to learn more about that. So once you come inside Vim, you're just going to type the I key and you're going to start to write by services. Since 2023, you don't need to give a precision about the version when you are running your Docker Compose stuff. So that's why I just started with services. The service here is Jenkins, and you're going to follow the indentation for different file .yaml. So I always indent twice on the right, and I provide right there. I just press Ctrl Z key after escape in order to get out without close my Vim, and check once again the name of my container, okay. So I'm going to copy it just to make sure that it's exact, and after that I'm going to make FG in order to come back inside my editor Vim. So right there I'm just going to continue and provide the name. So container name is Jenkins, and the image that I'm using here is Jenkins, and I'm going to provide the port. So locally, what is the port number and what is the port number that we're going to use to access online. So for this example, I'm going to use the 8018 number port. So you can see what we have here, 1818 column 1818, okay. It's just awesome. So I'm moving on the next line right now. I'm going to define my volume, okay. Volume is a really useful component. It's a really useful practice with Docker, okay. So right there I'm going to provide the path of my volume on my server, but you can see In Docker environment, volume are a way to paste data generated and used by container. Unlike container file systems that are ephemeral, data is lost when a container is deleted. Volumes store data outside the container's life cycle, making it ideal for saving database logs, config file, Jenkins data, and so on. So for the case is Jenkins, and you have Jenkins Home. Jenkins Home is the name of the directory that I'm going to have on my Linux server, but I didn't create it yet. So I'm going to make escape and Control Z in order to create this quickly. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay. So make the Jenkins Home. Awesome. And after that, I'm just going to come back using FG. I'm coming back, and yep, I can continue and provide the path of my volume on the Docker site, on the Jenkins Docker container site. Okay, so on the Jenkins Docker container site, it should be var/Jenkins Home. Okay, so everything in that container located at that directory going to come back on my Linux server on the same name. So the network, we always have to provide the networks that we're going to use, and I'm going to call it here net, and I need to create that network on the same level like a service. So I'm going to provide networks on the same level as a service, and just drop colon and provide on the next line net and colon at the end. Okay, that's how I'm creating it at the service level and making sure that it's going to be available on my Jenkins process. Okay, so that's it. I'm just gonna save it right now. Okay, I hope that you understand everything. So you actually have to create that networks in order to make your network process successful. So that's a little bit it about this Vim. So this editing process, I'm just going to escape, press enter the colon key on the bottom, and W Q exclamation sign, and we should be good to go. So we're going to save our file using that. You already know that I've talked a lot about it on my bash script series that I recommend you to watch. So when I list now, you can see that I have Docker Compose, the YAML, and Jenkins Home at the same level in the Jenkins data directory. Right now, I'm going to give a permission for the user with user ID 1000, which is the user Jenkins. Okay, it's the user that is existing on my Docker container, and his user ID is 1000 and his group is 1000. So I'm going to give him I'm going to change the owner of the file on my directory and provide that to that user. Okay, so right now I'm just going to run Docker Compose up -z, which means in detached mode, and you see network Jenkins data net created, container Jenkins started. So we are good right now. I'm just going to copy my IP address now, and let's access Jenkins online with all that. So it's pretty easy. We're just going to paste this IP address online there and add our port, external port 8018, and you can see that we have our Jenkins page that is showing up. Awesome. Please like and subscribe if you have done something until here. So I'm going to come back and on my server and type docker logs -f and the container ID of my Jenkins container. So for that, I have to double check using docker ps. So you can see that I have my containers running, and the container ID is the first number on the left. I'm just going to copy this number quickly. So docker ps is the command to display all the containers that are working. that are currently working. So when I provide that, I can have that number that I'm going to use in order to continue with my login process on my Jenkins application. So I'm just going to paste that administrator password right there and click on continue. I'll say no now and start suggested plugins. Yes, I'm going to click on this, and you can see a lot of plugins that you're going to experience. We're gonna learn and we're gonna experience in the following episode in this channel. Let's subscribe if you love DevOps concept and automation stuff. I did an awesome series on Ansible as well that I will recommend you to check and learn about Ansible, because Ansible is a foundation on this DevOps stuff as well. So right now I'm going to make a username, and the username, I'm going to provide the username, a simple stuff, ABC123. I'm going to confirm the password and provide the full name and provide an email address that I'm going to attach to it, and just save it. You can see Jenkins URL instance configuration. I'm going to save and finish. Start using Jenkins right now, and you see it's awesome. Everything is looking perfect. Let's configure DNS locally. This is the surprise that I have kept for you. So I'm just going to show you the process to configure your DNS locally. You're going to going to move on Notepad and open it using administrative access. Okay. And I'm going to open a new page. And just check on Windows C, which is my my main directory. I'm going to check on System 32, and right there I'm going to check on drivers. Drivers should be somewhere on the bottom. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. There you go, drivers, etc. And right there, you're going to scroll down here and click on all files. And you're going to double click on host, where we're going to proceed with the magic in order to provide the DNS that we want to our Jenkins server. So I'm going to call it Jenkins Home. So let's watch until the end. I'm going to copy my IP address here and come back in this file, drop it. Make sure to delete, erase everything else, and keep only the IP address. And as you can see on the top of this page, we have to create at least one space before to provide the name that we're going to use online. So for mine, it's Jenkins Home. Okay, so I'm going to call it Jenkins Home. There you go. After that, I'm just going to save that file. Just click on file upstairs and click on save, and we're good to go. So this is the bonus. This is some kind of surprise and bonus that I would like to share with you. You're going to see, we're going to come back on our browser right there. I'm going to take off the IP address and just drop the DNS, the domain name that I've provided, and you're going to see that everything works successfully. Awesome, you see? So I can proceed with everything exactly the same way. Thank you for watching until the end. I really appreciate your presence here until the end. So I will invite you to like and subscribe, because DevOps is not going to have any secret for you pretty soon if you are a subscriber on this channel. See you soon. Bye.